Hey guys, welcome to you. This is I-95 North. Getting close to getting out of North Carolina, but I believe I'm still in North Carolina and headed north. But I just wanted to share this driving video with you and give you some of my thoughts because part of the reason that I haven't made any videos the past few days is because I've been very anxious and stressing a little bit over considering buying a home base. For those of you who watch this channel, they know that I live out of my car for full time. I have for 2 years. I sold a condo I owned for 15 years a couple years ago, and I've just been full time on the road with the main objective to get down to Florida and live a downsized, simple life. And so that's what I've achieved. And I was really looking at a home base for $25,000 that caught my eye because it's just so below my means, and it's so it's a low level of risk, but there's a level of financial entanglement. One of my viewers said, Sam, can you do anything without getting back into that financial entanglement? Another one of my viewers, Jesus, said, Sam, keep it simple. And a variety of people said a variety of things, and 90+% of them were all positive and objective and just sharing their opinion. And I made a decision. I went back and forth with my decision several times, and I probably drove the real estate agent a little bit nuts, but I thank God that she was gracious. But I decided not to go with the home base. I told the real estate agent I was going to, and then I just couldn't do it. I couldn't commit. I think it was a good deal in one aspect of it, but if I was going to buy it for $23,000 after closing costs and everything, it would have been $25,000, and then I would have had to buy an RV. Which I looked at RVs. And any new one, or even a decent one, even if it was a couple years used, you're looking between $10,000 on the very low end to $15,000, and that's a lot of times before tax and all the other fees. And by the time you get it there, then I got to get it anchored down to the concrete. I would have had to get it skirted to be compliant with the HOA, and it would end up being a $40,000 investment, and it would have been really just a huge mental tax on my mind, and that was really what was hurting me, and that's what I was struggling with. It was just it's the mind, it's the entanglement, it's the commitment, it's the lack of freedom. I still could come and go as I please, and I could still live way below my means. I would still be financially free, but there's a trigger in my mind that I can't explain to you, that like even now as I was driving up north, because I didn't make the final decision till today, just a little bit ago, and as I was leaving Florida to come up north to see my mother, which I'm glad I am doing. Right now the weather's turning absolutely gorgeous in Florida because it's October 13th 2018 as I make this, and this is the time of year where Florida starts to really get beautiful because the humidity drops and it's sunny and it's gorgeous. Even though it's a very nice fall day here in North Carolina, it's cloudy up north in New Jersey, and it's going to be cold this week, 50s and 60s. But I'm making the right decision because I love my mom. I want to spend quality time with her. She's getting older, and I'm doing it willingly. She actually doesn't even know I'm coming and doesn't want me to come because she knows that she's going to worry about me traveling back and forth, so I don't even tell her. But I know, she wants to see me, but she worries about me driving. But I know that I'm fortunate in life, and I want to, go visit her, and so I'm at peace with that. And I've got to spend plenty of time in Florida, and I'm thankful that, I'll be up here for a few days, a week. I don't think more than a week, and then I'll be right back down in Florida. And I'm blessed for that because I remember how painful it was last year leaving Florida and not knowing when I would come back, just that I wanted to. So let me be thankful for how far I've come. But back to the home base, it was just, I don't know. Just doing the math. So $40,000, if I rented a place, if I did campgrounds on and off, I could alleviate that. It would take me at least 7 to 8 years to see a positive equity flow in that investment. Because, it would take 7 or 8 years of me of camping and almost doing it every day of the week for it to make up $40,000. And I mix in free camping, and I like the fact that, camping does allow you to sleep in peace, and it does allow you to feel safe and secure, and you are. Welcome to Virginia. See that sign on the right? Yeah, we're in Virginia. Virginia's a state of lovers. Love and respect to everyone in Virginia. But back to my thought, it's just, I like paying for a campground, and I just know that I'm not overcommitted. Shout out to my guy Shonuff. I know he loves me and he appreciates me. He would support me either way, one of my viewers on YouTube. And he told me, look, Sam, he left a comment, just, be careful not to overcommit. But I know that he supported me either way. And I look, I'm subject to change my mind. I could change my mind tomorrow and say I want to buy it, and I would. I'm not going to pigeonhole myself in anything in life. But I want to continue to keep my freedom. I want my flexibility. You do think if, God forbid, I get hurt, I'm living like, I'm for the most part, I'm by myself out here. My mom loves me, people love me, but the reality of me going back to live with my mother, it's not a possibility for the most part. It's a situation, and I don't want to. But I'm just trying to say that in your mind as a nomad, you think about that, like, if I really need to I have friends and stuff that will always be there for me, but I just don't like to, I don't like to entangle. To me, there's financial entanglement, and then there's like relationship entanglement. And I'm a loner. I love people, but I'm a loner, and I need to be by myself for the most part. But I say to myself, God forbid, if I really got hurt, or if I really need to squat somewhere for a little while, then, I could just always rent an apartment or rent a house, or, just rent something for a few months to, heal or whatever I need to do if, God forbid, I was sick, or even rent a hotel room and then hopefully be back on the road. And, I evaluate my age. I'm 38. So, if I was older, of course, that would be a different consideration. But I figure at 38, by the grace of God, I'm in good health, plant-based diet, take care of myself as good as I can. And so, obviously, but you never know. God forbid you get in a car accident or something, everything can change. But, you can't live in fear either. You got to live your life. I certainly don't want to buy a home base just because of the fear. And then I have something that I'm regretting and I'm anxious about. And it is a magnet. My brother True Colors, I think, said that. He said, Sam, is that thing going to be like a magnet? And it is. I was thinking about that as I was driving up north. Like, if I had that home base right now, it'd be paid off for, no mortgage. I'm still paying the $250 a month. That includes, that's not much. That's the attractive part. That would have been the taxes, the HOA, and electric. But, it's just the obligation is there. It even said, like, in the bylaws, that you are obligated to the homeowner association. So, they've had water pipe breaks in the past couple of years. So if the water pipe breaks in the community, you get an email and you just see like there's something going on in the community, and it gnaws at your mind. Even though you're only paying $250 a month, and even if there's an assessment or something, it's not much. But I don't know. To me, it just gnaws at my mind. And I gotta buy a travel trailer that's like compliant with them. And they're really only restriction with the compliant travel trailers they wanted, or any type of motorhome, is they just wanted it to be self-contained, meaning that it has a shower, a kitchen, bedroom, everything inside the unit, not like outside the unit. No pop-up campers, no truck campers. And I was thinking of getting one thing I like, there was a couple of units that are like, they're just like a bed, but like the tags, or like the 12-foot Pro or something that was called. It's just like a bed, but that's all I really want. I'm just getting this home base to sleep and to have a place to go safe and legal. I'm not going to like stay in my house every day. I'm not at the point in my life where I ever want to go back to being a homebody. Again, when I get older, I do see it as a reality, because I will say this, I want to share this with you, that being on the road wears on you. It does. But it wears on you when you try to do too much moving and not enough stopping. And that's what I did for the past several weeks. I think that was part of the fatigue of my mind, is I really didn't do any campgrounds. I was just bouncing all over the place, just doing free camping. And I don't know why, because I was trying to make a decision, and I don't know. But I would just say that, if you're weary in the mind, go to a campground, pay the fee, spend a few days there, or even a couple weeks, and just sleep. Get your 8 hours of sleep. Sleep late on Saturday. Not past 7 a.m. if you can, and just heal your mind, because sleeping heals your mind. But and lack of obligation heals my mind. I mean, that's what it comes down to. I mean, and even if I thought about, the other part of the home base that I liked is something for my mom. If I can, I don't know if I would be able to ever get her down to Florida, because she's got her doctors and she's got my sister and stuff that, it's not going to be easy for her to adapt to a new thing and be. But I do think I can get maybe her down there for a couple weeks or maybe even a couple months. But I say to myself, then, if I do that, I'd be better off either renting an RV from Cruise America, or I even looked at a couple beach condos. I mean, I could rent a beach condo, for like $1,000 a month. If I did that for 2-3 months, I mean, $3,000 is still way better than $40,000 with the recurring fee of, $2,500 a month, and with the fixed obligation of being there and having to, work with a contractor, get that trailer anchored down. And then when I want to go sell it, I'm sure I got to remove that trailer and go through all that. And if there's something wrong with the trailer, who's going to tow it to the repair shop? I'm not. If there was a hurricane, which is a reality in Florida, and my, trailer, like, it didn't get blown away, but let's just say like a window got poked out. I don't want to worry about all that anymore. I work a demanding job, but I don't mind that because, look, I get paid and I keep my flexibility. But I'm saying all that to say, I can only put so much stress on my mind. And another one of my viewers, and forgive me because I forgot the name, they said, Sam, is buying this home base adding to your self-care or taking away from your self-care? And I thought that was a great comment, and I thought about that a lot. Initially I said, I think it's going to add to my self-care because it's in the area, for the most part, that I like. I'm okay with not being on the beach because I like to drive. I don't mind like driving, 40 minutes to the beach, 40 minutes home, and driving to Starbucks and stuff because I like to drive. And I think it adds to I think it's a good day, like when you wake up and, there's a build up, there's a climax, and then there's a wind down, Like if you just wake up at the beach, like there's just, like there you are, it's a peak. There's no build up, there's no wind down. But I liked a lot about it, but I just didn't like the mental commitment. And just being married, there was 248 units in that development as part of the homeowner association. I just didn't like being married to 248 people, because you are to one extent. And I walked around the community several times, and like the last time I went, I was walking around, and like a couple of old ladies, they stopped there, all zip around in their golf carts. And she stopped me, and I understand because she's part of the community and she's just looking after it. She just goes, "Oh, do you live in this community? What number do you live at?" And I think she was just checking because I'm young, and she's trying to figure out what's this guy doing here, and I understand that. And so I told her I was working with the real estate agent, and this is the property I'm looking at. And so then she warmed up to me. We had a good conversation, and I said, "But you don't have to worry about me." I told her, I said, "I'm peaceful if I move here." She goes, "Well, we're not peaceful." And I talked to another neighbor, and he said, like, a lot of the people on the homeowner association, they like to drink, and but that's just par for the course. That's human nature. But I don't know. I just, I could deal with it because I know how to play the game of life, and I just keep to myself. But I got it made right now. I do. Look, everything comes to an end. But if you buy a home base, everything comes to an end. You buy it, then you get buyer's remorse, which I had. And I really just do have the vision of I just got my Jeep Renegade washed. That's why the windshield so clean. There was so many dead bugs on it from driving through Florida and then driving on I-95. I said, let me take advantage of that and make this driving video for you. It's a beautiful, clear day here. The temperature is dropping as I'm going up north. I don't know what it is now. Probably about mid to high 60s Fahrenheit. Let's just say 68 degrees Fahrenheit. But as I get more and more up north, that's going to drop. But, so I say all that to say, home base canceled. I was going to go under contract. I basically almost did. And then I just told the real estate agent, I apologized to her. I know that's not right. I know they have their commissions and stuff they work off. She did work for me, and so I apologize. But I thank God for her grace. And I don't like to be indecisive, but I read one article about this topic, about digital nomads and nomads who debate a home base, and there are pros and cons to a home base, and I want to be clear, there are pros, and I'm not against a home base. I said I may change my mind. I don't think I'll ever find anything that cheap again. I really don't. And that's what kind of like a little bit eats me up. I mean, that thing was, but it's not as cheap as it appears. It's the 25,000 initially after closing costs and everything. Then it's the 10 to 15,000 for the RV, and then it's the ongoing maintenance. So it's 40,000 plus a recurring thing, and that's what you got to remember. It's I mean, if I was already towing an RV, or if I had a motorhome and I didn't want to drive it, that's a different story. But I mean, I just have my Jeep Renegade, and the other thing I was thinking about is I actually love sleeping in my Jeep Renegade. I don't want to sleep in a trailer. There's amenities there, but one is I don't want to use the shower. I don't want to use the sewer, the black hose. I don't want to clean it. I don't want to add that additive. I don't want to worry about the toilet breaking. I want to pee in a jug, dispose of that, in the restroom, and take a dump at Planet Fitness or Starbucks. I don't want to go back to cleaning and worrying about a gray hose, a gray tank, a blank tank, and then, signing up for a utility company, signing up for electrical, paying that every month, and just thinking about that. I don't mind. I'm at the point 2 years in this. This car is my home now, and I get anxious thinking about having to sleep somewhere else. I mean, if I'm at a campground, I sleep like a baby. Even like last night, I was at a rest area. I slept like a baby, and I actually at the point where I enjoy hearing the cars pass on the highway. It's odd. You never think you would get to that point, but I guess you get comfortable, and so it does take. You'd have to adapt to a new. I would adapt to the new change of a trailer, but I guess I just don't want it bad enough. So, for right now, I just have a vision of staying in my Jeep Renegade as long. I just got the oil change. I'm going to do a video. I'm going to cross the 100,000 mile mark on this trip. Right now, I'm at 99,895. So I'll probably do another video reaching the 100,000 mark on my Jeep Renegade. I have a 2016 Jeep Renegade. And I love it. It's been a blessing to me. I didn't buy it with the intention of living out of it. I just bought it on my first step of downsizing when I still had my house, and it just really worked out well. My next car will probably be a Toyota Prius. I see them. I do get inspired, especially if I keep this same lifestyle where I'm doing this much traveling. But I do know, if I'm going to do it, now's the cycles of my life to do it at 38 and then progressing as I get older. Because I do, like I say, I do acknowledge that as you get older and older, this life on the road is not for you. And even if it is for you, I don't want to speak negative to anyone thinking of it. You just have to take a lot. You can't move as much as I move. I wouldn't recommend it. You'd have to stay longer at different places because I push the limits at my age. So, and driving's very dangerous. It's very dangerous. I was on I-95 by Melbourne, Florida the other day, and there was a tractor trailer, 18-wheeler that blew up. It was in flames. And I was there before the cops were there. So, people were just driving around the travel trailer. And I was so nervous because I thought I thought the tractor trailer was going to explode while I was driving around it. It was in flames. You could feel the heat in my car. You're that close to it, but you have an option. You're either going to stop your car in the middle of I-95 and you're going to watch this thing blow up in your face, and that could blow out your windshield, or you're going to try to, drive around it without getting flat tires, and before it explodes, and it's just scary. But and so, like I always tell you guys, look, the biggest thing you need to be concerned about living full time on the road is driving. That's the scariest thing. Not to be in fear, but you got to drive very safely and cautiously. Just do the speed limit, and that's it. Don't take chances. And even then, you never know. Grace of God be with you. But I wanted to share this video. Home base is not going to happen as of now. I tried to share every kind of thought process. I do feel relief. I feel a relief to be free again, because I felt the grasps of being obligated again, and it hurt me mentally. It hurt me. Being free does heal me. There's something about it I can't explain to you. And that's what I wanted to share. All right. Thank you, everyone, for your comments and your love and support. God bless.